Now, once you start a conversation with an executive headhunter, I want you to think about how to make the best impression. You need to make their job as easy as possible. They're the person that can get you hired. They're the person that can get you in front of the people you need to be speaking to. So I've seen some people say, oh, they kind of told me what to do and they wanted me to redo my resume here and do this or that. And, I'm the executive. Aren't they working for me? No, you're not paying that 15 to 30%. The employer is. They're working for the employer. So you need to do whatever they ask you to do in order to get in front of that particular client of theirs. So when you have that first conversation with them, you want to ask things like, tell me about the best placement you've ever had. What made that a great placement for you? What do you look for in an executive when you're marketing them? What stands out about my experience? Is there anything that you wish I had more experience on that maybe I do have and it's just not articulated here? You really want to probe into their process for placement, but around the idea of what can I do to make your job and life easier? Think about it. If you can make this recruiter understand this is going to be the easiest 15 to 30% on an annual salary they've ever made, they're going to get a lot more behind placing you. That's the truth. So that's what you're doing. And this is a mindset that a lot of people at the executive level have never considered, have never understood. And I've seen people reach out to headhunters and then never hear from them again. And it's because they didn't take that approach of your customer is the recruiter, the executive headhunter. You've got to please them or they're not going to present you. This is really, really important you do that. And the last thing I just want to say about this process is that only about 10% of people ever get placed through an executive headhunter. So I wouldn't go into this thinking this is going to be the one and only way that you get hired. I think it's worth it to find, one or two that can represent you. And I should probably mention that you don't want to sit and connect and be available to every headhunter. The moment they know that you're working with all sorts of headhunters, they'll stop working with you because they're all competing against one another. So you need to pick a lane. You need to choose one or two that you identify with and say to them, hey, I'm committed to you. But it also means you have to have patience. They're not going to suddenly have 5 opportunities for you in the first month. It doesn't work that way. It could take a whole year. It could take longer for the right opportunity to come across their desk. So this is a long-term relationship play. So if you're between engagements right now and you're feeling the pressure to find a job, I would not think that an executive headhunter is your solution. An executive headhunter, the best relationship to have with them happens when you're currently employed. You're usually happily employed, but you know that you should always be looking. That's why you deploy executive headhunters, 1 or 2 of them, and you build a great relationship with them so that they can eventually get you placed. Because a lot of times they have a relationship with a great employer, but that employer doesn't have the right job for you, but they can see it. They'll get that job when it comes available in 6, 8, 10 months and come right to you with it. So you've got to have those relationships in place. Okay.